This manga is so fucking crazy. Like, I can't even... I don't even know where to start half the time when I start talking about Gantz, other than just being like, I cannot believe the insanity that is this series. But I love it for that aspect. I absolutely love it. So this is going to be a review of both volumes 17 and 18. I read them back to back, and unfortunately it still didn't finish the mission that they're on, and I didn't have time to read volume 19, but this is going to be a combined review of volume 17 and 18, and all of the crazy nonsense that goes down. So Gantz has sent everybody out onto another mission, and we have Kurono, who of course has this newfound resolve that he's going to get 100 points so that he can revive his previous friends, or Tai, his girlfriend, and his previous friends Kato and the other K, Kishimoto. And so that's what his kind of ultimate objective is right now, and it's so cool to see Kurono transform into this character where he is just so on point. He is just so on mission right now. He goes right for the boss. As soon as the mission starts, he's like going out searching for the boss. Like everyone else, group up, you know, go in your selected groups and fight these aliens and do that, and I'm going to go after the boss character. It's so very cool to see him doing that, especially as it goes on into from volume 17 into volume 18, and actually when they get to the final boss, which I'll get to that in just a moment. So I'll kind of run through a couple of things that are happening within the characters right now. One thing that I really like is how much of a team this group is now. The fact that they've all kind of realized that Kurono has gone through this many times, and that they've been training under him, and that they've gone, you know, specifically to Kurono's house to do these trainings at night and whatnot, and they're getting better and better. And the fact that you have, you know, this model superstar Rika there, and then you have the old man character whose name I can never remember there, you know, you have kind of all these unlikely people that you would think would die during the very first game of Gantz that they would ever be in. But because Kurono is there, you know, teaching them and showing them the way, they've managed to survive and gotten to the point where pretty much everybody is really high in points, or getting high in points. The only two people that aren't playing ball is one Izumi, because we all know that he's a POS that is just, you know, in it for himself, just in it for the killing, just in it for the fun of whatever, you know, doesn't really care. I'm sure he does care about getting 100 points, but you know that he would go for the weapon aspect as opposed to the other two you know, options. And then there's Inaba, who basically has been jealous of Kurono the entire time, and his kind of relationship with Rika and how they're kind of attracted to each other, and he's just kind of been this like pretty boy douche guy that's been in the background. So those are the only two characters that really haven't been committed to being with the group, and it definitely shows in these volumes the detriment that has, and how beneficial it is to actually be within a group and to have that kind of training, because a couple of characters kind of go off and try to do things on their own. One is Inaba, this character, and he winds up facing down, he gets face to face with the vampire characters that are coming back. I know Gantz is so crazy, it's like, wait, aliens and vampires and all this crazy blood and shit, like, it's insane. Well, Inaba's like, he comes face to face with these vampires, and they tear his, you know, the ancillary characters that were there, the first timers, poor unfortunate souls. And as he runs back, you know, he sees this naked version of Rika, and he falls for the whole naked girl trick. Fellas, never fall for the naked girl trick. And I'm not just talking about when aliens are impersonating naked girls. I mean, like, in life, never fall for the naked girl trick. It's a trick. Anyways, what does that mean? I don't know. So he falls for it, and then the creature, the Onis, actually is what they're called, which is kind of cool because Oni is like a Japanese or Eastern style like demon thing, but that's what the aliens are in this, so that's kind of a neat aspect too. I love how it like starts engulfing him like The Thing. Like, it reminded me of John Carpenter's The Thing, if you've ever seen that movie. It's this creature that kind of assimilates people and can become them, and then like absorbs them and just becomes this weird kind of walking creature, and that was just totally what this reminded me of. But then, of course, this creature also turns into, like, a bug and an elephant, and, like, it could just turn into, like, fucking anything. But, you know, Kurono takes it out, so it's all good. We also have one of the psychics, Hiroto, versing a fire version of an Oni that can kind of control fire, kind of looks like a demon, kind of the closest to what an Oni would look like if you looked up, like, the historical, like, Oni paintings and whatnot. And this fight was pretty cool, but unfortunately, and I was kind of like, I was expecting this to affect me more because I really have liked Hiroto's story. I liked how he was this kid that was bullied and picked on, and then found this power and then used it to enact revenge on his bullies. But then because of that, you know, he had this kind of deep guilt that he had killed a human being and whatnot, and so he was trying to do right and trying to do good, and he was stuck in this Gantz situation also. But And he does manage to wound the Fire Oni, but the Oni does take him out. So that was pretty upsetting to see. And also, it was in a way like he didn't just get like an arm ripped off or something like that. Like Hiroto got fucking massacred. He exploded, you know. So he's not coming back. He's not regenerating once they get to the Gantz room. So very, very sad to see that character go. But, you know, like I've said many times with Gantz, it does not care who you are. Everybody is subject to die. Like, it's fair game for anybody. And that keeps the series exciting. It keeps it interesting knowing that any character at any point in time could die during one of these missions. So, as unfortunate as that was, it is kind of the grim, brutal reality of what Gantz is all about. So I think where volume 16 left off was this little kid was scared to put on the suit, and then he saw the character Daizemon, who looks like this big muscly guy that he drew called Muscle Rider, and he envisioned him as Muscle Rider, so once he told him to put on the suit, he was willing to do so, but then they got transported out into the world, and so, you know, he makes sure that he puts on the suit and he starts defending the child, and the child gets scared and sees him, and he's like, doesn't know if, are you Muscle Rider? I don't know, and then to calm the child down and to let him know, he's like, yes, I am Muscle Rider. I'm here to protect you. And it's just like, it's so adorable because this character has never been, I didn't consider him an asshole. You know, he went around challenging the strongest fighters, not in the Gantz games, but in real life. He was going around and challenging people. He liked fighting and he liked proving himself. He liked the thrill of a battle. And that's what he was all about. And so, putting him into the Gantz game is a really cool way to throw a wrench into the whole system because Gantz is randomized. You know, it could be anybody. It could be an adult, an old person, a child. You know, Gantz is just random. So the fact that it finally randomly picks somebody who actually is a really skilled fighter it was a great call to have happen in the Gantz manga. I mean, there's been other kind of fight. There was a martial artist back in the Buddha segment, and there was a sniper, you know, there. So there has been skilled people pulled into Gantz before, but this is the only time where it's kind of really taken into its full force and full effect to show what it could do, because not only is he such a formidable opponent just in real life, once you put a Gantz suit on him where that enhances his strength and speed and everything else, this guy becomes like a literal superhero. Like, he's literally fucking Muscle Rider, you know? And he's beating the shit out of, like, he's the one that choked out the freaking dinosaurs from the last mission. He didn't even use a weapon. He choked them out, you know? Choking out a velociraptor. That's just badass. And he's fighting some weird, like, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure looking motherfucker in this one, but who transforms into, makes his body like hard as rock, and they're fighting each other. And it seriously is like a superhero battle, which is crazy, and it's great, and Muscle Rider wins the day, and it's fantastic. But of course, this is Gantz, so there's much more to it than that. Some of the strange things that happen in this volume is the human characters, the regular human characters, just everyday civilians, start to be able to see the aliens. They can see the aliens right from the get-go. And then, I don't know if this is like some malfunction with Gantz, but it cuts to the Gantz room, and the Gantz timer, because it always counts down because you have a certain time limit to complete the mission, goes off. The timer just goes, it doesn't count down, it just goes off. And then, really loud cars outside, and then everybody starts to be able to see the people in the Gantz suits. They start to be able to see the team. Like, everyday civilians can see Kurono and whatnot, and before they've always been invisible to people. They could still interact physically. You know, you can still cause physical harm and whatnot, or, you know, get hit by a car or whatever it is, but never before have human civilian characters been able to see Gantz. And I feel like this is maybe some sort of malfunction with the Gantz machine. Perhaps, you know, the person inside Gantz controlling it, whatever this system is, perhaps just like any other system, you know, it can crash and it can cause problems, and it can kind of fudge up. So I'm thinking maybe that has something to do with what's happening, because Gantz kind of is like a computer system. The way it like downloads people, and the way that we consider, or at least what we're supposed to think, is that everybody in the Gantz game are copies of people that have actually died in real life. So you die and you get transported to the Gantz room, or do you die and all of your body, your DNA, your mind, your memories gets like copied like a fax machine and then faxed over to the Gantz room. So you're just a copy of the real person. And we've seen this with Kishimoto, who of course still has a real life living self in the real world, where she, you know, wanted to go back home, and there was a real version of her still living there, so that's why she went to go live with Kurono back when that character was around. So in a way, Gantz is very much like a computer system, I feel like. And that's how I feel like it has this kind of registry of all the characters that died. And so when you win the game or you get the 100 points, you're able to bring a character back from the dead. It can just kind of re-download that data and bring them back. That's kind of how I feel like Gantz is operating. And so the timer going off and malfunctioning, and then people being able to see the Gantz team in real life, I think is some sort of weird kind of hiccup, maybe some sort of virus that has infected Gantz. Perhaps the vampire characters are interacting even more, because we don't really know much about the vampire characters other than they have fun hunting down the Gantz team. It's just kind of fun for them, and they're aiding these Oni aliens. They've kind of like struck a deal with the aliens, like, hey, these humans are going to come hunt you down. You want us to kind of like help you out and kill them also? So that seems to be the deal that's happening here. But of course, the lead Oni doesn't want the help, and he decides he's going to fight them by himself. And this is probably the most powerful character we've ever seen in Gantz, the lead Oni. I don't know what to call him. I don't know what to call his name. But this guy, he looks like a gigantic demon, and he is insanely powerful. He is like freaking Frieza level powerful here. He can like shoot through cars and buildings and whatnot. He's causing explosions. Like, this guy is fucking dangerous. He's like a walking atomic weapon. And the Gantz characters have faced down many very powerful, overwhelming odds and opponents, but this is something different. This is on a different level, and you're made to feel like this is on a different level. And the team unites, and it was really cool. This was awesome at the end of this volume to actually see all of the characters kind of all there together fighting this creature. So you got Kurono, you got Rika, you got Daizamon, you got the other psychic who, also, he gets stabbed through the freaking chest. So both psychics are done. I don't think he's going to be able to regenerate either, because it was really like a hand through the body. And during his last moments, he was able to do something to the lead Oni, I believe. He like kind of messed with his mind a little bit, but didn't make... he was trying to like make the blood vessel explode like they've done before, but it didn't work. Daizamon, the strongest character I was just talking about, gets his arms and legs ripped off. So shit is not going well. But Kurono has the best development here, because he is just on point. He is just fighting this demon nonstop. He's getting knocked through buildings. His team is getting annihilated around him, but he is not afraid, and he's not stopping. He is so filled with this conviction of getting the 100 points and reviving his friends. And it's just such a night and day difference from his original introduction, where he's just this teenage boy that's just like, doesn't give a fuck about anybody, doesn't want to be here, is just so full of rage and anxiety and just sexual tension and whatnot. And now he has such a clear purpose and mission. He has discovered love. He has discovered true affection and attachment to other people. And he has discovered the skill and power within himself. And he is just laying down I wouldn't say laying the smack down, because his ass is the one getting kicked. But he is just pushing through and fighting this creature, and it's just so awesome to see, and he's inspiring everybody around him, and it's just this amazing thing. And he's doing it all to bring back the woman that he loves, Tai, and to bring back his friends, and it's just so cool to see. Now, at the very end of this volume, unfortunately, we do not get to see the end of this mission yet with this final Oni, who, he's been injured. He got like sword slashed a couple of times, but I don't think he's really like being taken down too much. But Kurono's there fighting him one-on-one, and then Izumi shows up, who has been, by himself this entire time, like doing the mission by himself, because he's the asshole, he's the one that performed all of these horrible actions. He's the one that forced himself back into the Gantz game. He's the one that killed Tai. And so the man that killed Kurono's girlfriend is here next to him, and they kind of have this look towards each other where it's like, all right, we're going to combine our skills to take down this thing. And they're both doing it for completely different reasons, but there's really no time to argue. And I kind of like that aspect, because, you would not want the man that fucking killed your girlfriend to help you in any way. If anything, you would want him killed just as much. But you're in this situation where the only way to get your girlfriend back, or to get your friends back, is to kill this other thing. And perhaps the only way to kill this other thing is to have help. So you're kind of stuck in this position where it's like, all right, you know, it's like right now, ties do not matter. We are just going to attack this thing and bring it down to get those points. And then that's where the volume leaves off. So, I mean, is it kind of cool to see a Kurono and Azumi team up? I mean, I don't really think it's cool because I hate Azumi, but I understand the situation at hand, and I understand why they would team up in this particular moment. But anyways, guys, so that was a review of Gantz volumes was 17 and 18. Holy crap, I love this series. I'm about halfway through, and I can't even imagine, there's still half of this series to go. Like, where the hell is it going to go? I mean, I guess it makes sense since the volumes pretty much are just like, you know, giant battles, so I guess the volumes go quick, but like still, I'm only halfway? What the hell? Anyways, but that's good because that means more Gantz. So let me know what you think about this section of the story. Don't spoil the ending of this battle for me because I'm almost there. Let me know what you think about everything that we talked about with the Oni demons or the Oni aliens and Muscle Rider and Kurono's new conviction. Comment all that down below. Also, give this video a like if you would. Give it a thumbs up, comment, because all interaction with the video helps it be seen. It really helps out the channel. Other than that, guys, I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Please don't die and get sucked into a Gantz game, and I'll talk to you in the next video.